The predictions about climate change are dire.
The world is going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change.
We are in the beginning of a mass extinction.
Every week we're seeing new and undeniable climate events, evidence that accelerated climate change is here right now.
And the voices calling for action grow louder every day.
Climate justice! Now!
But what if we don't act as fast as the UN says we should? And what are the real consequences that we face? How much of what we hear is emotional rhetoric, and how much is fact?
I point out that we're not in the midst of a mass extinction. A mass extinction is when 75 or 90% of all species on Earth are extinct or going extinct. In fact, only 6% of species are critically endangered, and most of them should or will survive.
Let's get this straight. One constant we hear from Democrats is that the government needs to step up and spend massive amounts to address what some call an existential threat. They're pushing for investment in renewable energy, with wind and solar at the top of the wish list. According to Wake Smith, a senior fellow for business and government at Harvard's Kennedy School, it's not so simple.
Wind and solar can play a role so long as they're not the only thing that we're relying upon. Now we need energy storage in a way that's well beyond what we now do.
Complicating matters further, a recent Supreme Court ruling that limits the Environmental Protection Agency's latitude to regulate carbon emissions. Nuclear is back on the table as well. Nuclear energy became a power pariah after 1979's partial reactor meltdown at 3 Mile Island. That event led to a federal moratorium on new plants. But that was then. Now, power companies want the government to classify nuclear as green energy, since it does not produce any greenhouse gases. However, according to Smith, none of these solutions are likely to be enough.
The difficult bullet we've got to bite is that it likely requires changes in habits and compromises in respect of lifestyle, which no one has an appetite for.
To Smith, these changes suggest a key takeaway: a substantial reduction in the amount of energy we use in our daily lives. While Americans might be fine reusing water bottles, would they be as happy to drive only a couple of days a week, or to turn their AC up to 78 this summer? So far, no politician has made the bet that voters are on board with such dire changes to deal with what some call the dire climate threat.